Welcome to the Path Podcast, where we will travel the lives of some bold women, from dreams to detours to destiny. She did not choose this path. This path chose her. This is the Path Podcast.
Hey, welcome back, Path listeners, to the Path Podcast. With your sister, your motivator, your confidence builder, the one who believes that purpose is bigger than obstacles. Path listeners, I read some stats. Every time I'm doing an episode, you know I like to do my research. And I read where they said 7 in 10 girls believe they are not good enough or do not measure up in some way, including their looks, performance in school, and relationships with family and friends. That came out of a national report on stats of self-esteem by Real Girls, Real Pressure. And you know what, Path listeners, I believe those little girls turn into women, intelligent, boss, professional, beautiful women who sometimes struggle with the questions if they measure up. We all, I believe, at some point have felt or feel a lack of confidence at times, and for many, it's all the time. But confidence is not a personality trait or something we automatically get when we hit a certain weight or income bracket. It's a skill and practice that requires daily attention, and it's sometimes or something we all are entitled to. Well, Path listeners, the conversation I'm bringing to you today is about confidence, the love of self, that what we feel we are on earth to do. My guest today is Katy Graham. Katy is the creator and lead ladybug, and we'll tell you about that, behind her business entitled Everyday Confidence Coaching. Katy chooses to be of service through life coaching, facilitating the courses she created. And Katy also offers daily inspiration, motivation, and insight through both Text to Inspire, which will tell you what that is, and her Instagram account at Everyday Confidence Coaching that is very successful. She gave me a very short bio, but I'm sure she does so much more. And that's what I love about a lot of my guests, because they're very humbled in what they do, because they're here to serve a purpose. And it's a wonderful thing to see. So Path listeners, help me welcome in Katy Graham. Hello, Katy. How are you today?
Hi, Arlene. It is such an honor and privilege to be here with you. I'm so excited.
I am the one that's excited. I'm honored that you came on here to talk to me and the Path listeners. And Path listeners, let me tell you what the show is about. We're going to be discussing all things confidence. We're going to talk about what Katy started, why she started Everyday Confidence Coaching, and how we can help you, how she can help you if you feel the need, and how you can find your confidence and create an unstoppable attitude. Well, Katy, the first thing I always love to ask my guests, it's a signature question. I always ask my guests, tell me about the younger Katy who thought she had life all figured out. What were your hopes and dreams? And are you doing it today?
Yes, and no.
Yes, and no. There's a lot behind that, each one, right?
Oh, there's so much. I want to go back. So not to the younger Katy, like in my 20s, that little girl, all I ever wanted to be was a mom.
Oh, really?
I was the one who's carrying around baby dolls and pushing them in the strollers. And they always went on vacation with me because I couldn't leave them at home, because God forbid something had happened if my baby was left at home.
Yes.
And that's all I wanted to be as a little girl, was a mom. And my mom actually said to me once, after a neighbor had asked, so what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, a mom. Mm-hmm. And my mom pulled me aside and said, it's okay to want to be a mom, but you need to want something more.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, but all I want is to be a mom.
You still that's what I want.
So then it started into, okay, so what should I be when I grow up? And it went everything from being an architect to being an astronaut to being the world explorer like Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah.
it's like I just had this whole gamut of things I wanted to do when I grew up because I had to be more than a mom.
Mhm.
And then I hit my 20s and I'm like, well, crap, what am I going to do with my life? I'm
Mhm.
sure no one's ever hit that before.
Of
Um,
course not.
so I came out of college with an exercise and sports science degree.
Mhm.
Um, and I have to laugh because I don't know if how other listeners are, but I had this father who was so determined that I was going to be an engineer. He had me take all the engineering math. I took 2 years of engineering math.
Mm.
I looked around the classes and every single one of them, I'm like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life with the people in this room.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
cannot work with the people in this room because I was such a very different vibe and a different everything. I'm like, I don't want to be an engineer. I don't fit.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I picked the degree that pissed my father off the most.
With the things we do in our 20s again.
The things we do in our 20s. So, so that's a roundabout way of saying I am not a mom.
Yes.
I have never been a mom. I have attempted 7 times and have had 7 miscarriages.
Oh.
And at this point in my life, it's like, okay, the universe is telling me I have more to do. And then we'll look at becoming a mom in another alternative way, whether it be a pet mom or
Yes.
just a mentor. So right now I do mentor young women and that's what feeds my mom thing. So that's my no, yes. That's
Yes.
kind of where I'm at.
Well, let me tell you, and this is where I get my podcast. I told you earlier while we were talking offline, I can go about an hour, 2 hours, and talk to people because you said a lot that would help young people today. But what you said, and my daughter understands that it wasn't engineering. Her dad was trying to get her to go into everything computers and dealing with that type of stuff. So
Sure.
and my dad didn't really force me as much, I must admit. So I was able to kind of go in the route I wanted to, and I did business instead. Even though now, when you look at life many, many years later, I would have done other things. I think I would have done more like psychology, psychiatry, going into that field because I'm intrigued with the mind, how it works, how
Sure.
we think, and I'm very intrigued with it, to be honest. I don't know if I really would have wanted to do it on such a deep level, but because I'm such an encourager, motivator, in which you can still do all of that, I know in those settings in some form, but still, I think I'm more intrigued with the mind and how it works and how we think and how we hold on to and don't let go and how we move in the world. So,
Absolutely.
so
Well,
I
I do have
understand.
to say, I love my degree because everything I learned in my degree, I actually use in my business today or have used at some point in my life. So it was a very useful degree because it touched on so many different aspects and areas of life and business and psychology and coaching. It
Yeah.
all fit together. It was just so funny that, how I got there.
Wonderful. That is wonderful. So you definitely went into your you said it was sports,
Exercise and sports science.
exercise and sports science, and you're using that in the world today of what you're doing. So tell me what started you're a coach dealing with everyday confidence. What started that?
So I actually, uh, I took a pause in life. In my 20s, I was working in nonprofits and I loved what I did. Every day I showed up, I served. I couldn't wait to get to work every morning because I made a difference every day.
Yes.
That also meant I worked nights, I worked weekends, and everything that my life was focused on was on work. Anybody I met I was trained by the nun that I worked for in one of the organizations. Every person you meet, the first question you ask is, how do they fit into the organization? Once they fit in,
Uh-huh.
you can be friends on a work friend level. You're not allowed to be social friends with them and you're not allowed to date them. Well, I was single in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So every person I met was, how do they fit into the organization?
Yes.
But it was actually a deathbed request that got me out of nonprofit world. My mom had cancer, and she wanted me to have a life outside of my job. So she made the request that I step away from nonprofits and I find a different job that allows me to have a life and that balance.
Hmm.
So I did that, and it took me a few years to stumble, and I tripped, I fell, I hit my rock bottom because I'm like, where the hell am I doing with my life?
Yes.
I had no purpose. I wasn't serving. And she died of cancer. So I was very much into health and wellness. And I really, really wanted to focus on how not to get cancer. I found this organization called the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I'm like, oh, I can learn everything I need to learn without needing to have to die of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So I started taking the classes. It was not the intention to be a health coach. The intention was to learn for me.
Mm-hmm.
And about 6 months in, I had people coming up to me. They're like, I don't know what you're doing, but I want some of it. It's like, oh, so that's where my coaching career started. It's like, oh, well, I'm learning how to be a coach as well. So let me coach you what I'm doing on what I'm doing to help you do the same thing. So I coached with health coaching for a couple of years, and every single client I attracted all had so much more than just food was why they're having health issues or why they couldn't lose weight. And it's like the more I went, the deeper the issues got. And my clients were like, whoa, I'm here to tell you, for you to tell me what to eat. I don't want to talk about my daddy issues. I don't want to talk about that. It's like, oh, so I went back and I'm like, I want to be I want to be a life coach. I want to add that in so I can broach these subjects with my clients. Yeah. So one just rolled into the other. And once I got into life coaching, my clients were so lacking in confidence. I'm like, oh, I want to learn more about that. So I went back and got the next information certification on confidence coaching and the mindset coaching. And I don't know how many certifications. I think I'm up to like 11 now on the different coaching styles.
Yes. Yes.
But it all just kept adding in as the clients that were coming to me were showing, they're basically holding a mirror up to myself of, here's what's going on with you. And I was helping myself and helping them at the same time. And it just all kind of fumbled in, and I found myself being a confidence coach.
Wonderful.
How's that?
that again, it's a journey. It is. It's the journey to understanding why we do what we do. And thankfully, how mom even guides you too. It's that start where she wanted you to pull away. Were you working too much? She feels, and just living a life outside of the nonprofit.
34 years old, and all I did was work. I was either having cocktails, I was having breakfast, I was doing weekend parties. You want to throw a party? I can throw a great party. You're probably going to get head up for money for a nonprofit, but yes, that's a whole different life.
Yes, exactly.
It's like I wasn't spending time becoming the other part of my life. Everything was work, and I had no balance on me or having a family or having friends and all the stuff that makes life worth living.
Exactly. Wow. And so let me ask you, because I read something on part of your story where you were saying that, which you kind of alluded to it, where you said my own healing journey has been a roller coaster filled with twists, turns, bumps, drops, and a few unexpected loop-de-loops. So to get into all that you're doing, working with the clients that you were working with, did you found the confidence one needing to be talked about more than the others that we know health is critical. We know that. So I don't want to say one is more important than the other, but what made you still deal more with confidence coaching, even though everything I still believe goes hand in hand?
Oh, absolutely. Everything definitely goes hand in hand. I will say I do not health coach any longer. Do not come to me for that. Don't ask me health questions. I live in the state of Florida, and we have some very, very strict rules here. Okay. I'm not a registered dietitian, so I do not health coach, being I live in the state of Florida.
Yes. Okay.
Making that very clear to the world.
Yes. Of course.
I am finding though that the confidence is really the core foundation, that when we can build that confidence within, that does not rest on how many likes we get, on how many people tell me my shoes are pretty, how many people smile at me that day, or whoever my boss tells me I did a good job. Mm-hmm. If we can take that part of the confidence out of the equation, and you wake up in the morning going, I love myself today. I love myself because I am here. Mm-hmm. My creator wanted me to be here. Whoever your creator is, I believe in God, but I respect and welcome in all faiths and all beliefs.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
But when somebody can't wake up in the morning and love who they are, everything else in life is that much more difficult to get to where they want to be.
Yes. And to that point, because I read something again where they said, again, once we can get that confidence of just loving self, just as I am. When we say this, that to love who you are, we're not saying stuck in the like the Arlene is today, Arlene should be evolving into another version of herself.
Oh,
and
yes.
I agree with all of that. But tell me, what is confidence to you, Katy? Because I know it's different for everybody. And what is it, what you just said, or do you define it more in a different way to your customers?
Can I tell you a story first?
Yes. Oh, please.
Okay. So I am such a different person today than I was as a little girl. I grew up in this amazing family. I love my family. I absolutely love them. We are all I have 3 siblings, so there's 4 kids. We are all so incredibly different, so different.
Yes.
And you look at us, we were 6 years between the oldest and the youngest. And you look at us and go, how the hell did you all get raised in the same house?
I can relate.
But growing up, I grew up in a house that you can always be better. No matter what you do, you can always improve. So here I am, a highly sensitive, empathic kid. When I was younger, I would see ghosts. I would talk to them. Yeah, I'm weird. I am full on weird. My family thinks I'm nuts. I grew up in the same house that my mother grew up in, that my grandfather grew up in, that the woman who adopted him grew up in. So it's a century home. And yeah, we have ghosts in the house, if you believe in that such a thing. I do. And so here I'm this weird kid with a family that's basically a set of perfectionists that everything you do, they're going to find something better. So it didn't matter if you brought home a report card with straight A's. Why didn't you do the extra credit to get A+? Oh, you beat everybody in the class on that. Why didn't you do better? You could have beat your best. So no matter what you did, it could have been better. So here I am, this weird kid. I don't fit in. No matter what I do, it's not good enough. I have this brother who, I do love my brother, but he's a picker. He just picks. And it's not the friendly, ha, ha, ha. It's he takes your deepest insecurity and just twists it around and keeps twisting and twisting and twisting until he just takes whatever self-worth you have left and yanks it out. So here you go, this knobby-kneed, skinny little kid, weird beyond reason, and I don't fit. Talk about no confidence. So I became the people pleaser. Whatever people needed, I was the one who could do it. I would jump up before anybody asked a question. I would be the one who was the teacher's pet because I always did everything they needed, just so I could feel like I fit in or belonged. So you extrapolate that through my teens, which a little other subset in there, and my 20s, where I became the employer's whatever they needed, I got done. So instead of having those boundaries of it's 5 o'clock, I'm going home. Oh, we just really need this done. And I have to go home to my kids. Katy, can you just make this happen and have it done by tomorrow? Of course I can. Go home to your kids. I can stay till midnight to get it finished. Not a problem. And be back at 6 a.m. to finish what else needed to be done. So that was my life through my 20s and 30s because I didn't have the confidence in me to do what was best for me. I did what was best for everybody because I needed to feel loved and wanted. So when I stepped into coaching, all these things started to come up and I started to have to figure out who I was outside of a job, outside of a family, outside of being a mom that I didn't get to be. Who am I? So that's where I started to learn what confidence meant to me, was that I could wake up in the morning and know I love me because I am. Not because of my size, not because of my income, not because of somebody who liked me, not because I have followers on Instagram who comment or listen to me on a podcast, but simply because I am. I love who I am. I love my flaws. I can walk into a room and be the weirdest person in the room and not care. To me, that's confidence. And yeah, I'm still the weirdest person in the room.
Because Katy said that, though.
And I'm okay with that. And I don't care if people call me weird. It's like, people just say, oh yeah, this is my friend. She's a little out there. I said, no, I'm just plain weird. And they're like, it's okay to say that. It's like, yeah, I'm weird. I claim it. It's mine. And I have the confidence to not care that other people think that about me. So for me, confidence comes from loving who I am and being comfortable with who I am in every situation that I walk into. That's my definition of confidence.
I love that. And I'm glad you gave
the long way.
No, that's the way we need it, Katy. Because as me and you, we've spoke about social media will just tell you, oh, Katy is an everyday life, everyday confidence coach. Knowing the backstory and knowing a person, it helps you to say, oh, wow, I can relate. I understand where she's coming from. And who better to help me through this than Katy? And
there you go.
That's why I enjoy telling stories, because we all think we're out here. Women, ladies, we know we will pick ourselves apart. The world doesn't need to tell us anything about ourselves. We'll look in the mirror as your brother, like you said with your brother, and he, the brother really wouldn't have to tell us sometimes, because we'll just do it to ourselves, even if we didn't have a sibling that did that.
That inner mean girl was so good at it.
Yes. Yes. And let me tell you about me, Katy. When I was in high school, I used to always tell people, I've since had LASIK because of on my eyes, but I was the girl with the thick glasses. But I'm like you, but still back then I felt very confident in myself.
That's awesome.
Not that I didn't pick some things apart, don't get me wrong, and not that I didn't look at other people. I'm not saying that, everyone, but still I've always had that sense of I was just thick glasses and all. That's
amazing.
That's who I am. And always kind of had that sense of self, but hearing how you came through that journey, it is something that we all need, because we will hold all of those things. And if you did not look at yourself as you, in your words, weird, and loving who she is, we wouldn't have the Katy we have today.
Right.
And that's what
absolutely.
So tell me, you did the work to get to that place of loving who you are. How do we get somebody else to discover that? I know you have a program and we're going to talk about that, but what is the thing that you do today in your program, I'll say then, if we can go into to help people get to that place? We won't tell you everything here, Path listeners, but just to get an idea, because it is hard to get people to that place. I know it has to be.
Oh, so here's my secret. I share everything.
Yeah.
Because I want everybody to elevate themselves up.
Yes.
Because one of the things that when we don't have that confidence in ourselves, we find ourselves in those abusive relationships. We find ourselves in jobs that don't treat us well. I can honestly say, 1 in 3 Americans have been in an abusive relationship or currently in one. I was in one. I've actually been in multiples, one physical and multiple emotional. But back to your original question, the first thing is that people actually have to want to gain the confidence in themselves. They have to see that there's another way. Until they have that view and choose that I want to find my own confidence. I want something better. No matter what they want, no matter what somebody tells them to do, it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
So step 1, they have to actually fully embrace that they choose to find their own confidence and they want something better for themselves. The second thing that I tell everybody is you got to start with gratitude. So you may not be confident today, but start with gratitude. For me, I did it for years, and I have to say I'm out of the rhythm of it. But I pick up a journal every morning before I got out of bed, and I write down 3 things I was grateful for. Before I went to bed at night, I'd write down 3 things I was grateful for. And that's where I started. I did that for months because I couldn't do anything else. I was in survival mode and I was just trying to get through day to day. Once I could get there, then I went into what I now call the confidence undercover. So every day I'd write down 3 things I was grateful for. I'd find 2 things I loved about myself, ideally from that day. So today could be, I got my walk on the beach and my meditation in before 8 o'clock. I love that I got that in before 8 o'clock this morning. And the second is, I looked at my hair and I was having a great hair day. So that's something I love. I'm having a great hair day today. And then the third thing that you write down is something you're ready to forgive. And then you say a sentence around forgiveness. So for me, I had to start small. So I'd start with, I forgive the guy who cut me off in traffic yesterday and flipped me the bird. And then I would state, I forgive that bleep, bleep, bleep for cutting me off in traffic and giving me the bird, because I understand he was having a rough day and it had nothing to do with me. I forgive him for being such a bleep, bleep. And let it be. And I do that every day. So I do the 3 steps of 3 gratitude, 2 things I love about myself, and 1 forgiveness. Because I did learn on my journey that when you hold that hatred in your heart and you're holding on to all those burdens of people you're angry with, or all those things that people did to you, when you're holding on to that, it's hard to let in the love. And when you let in the love, your confidence just skyrockets. So you have to add things in and let things go at the same time. So the more you can add into things you love about yourself and you let go of some of those icky things, the more beautiful life gets and the higher your confidence soars. And that is the easiest 3 steps you can do to build your confidence right here and right now. I recommend everybody do it.
I absolutely love all of that you said. And so we make it difficult sometimes to think it's something, it's like it has to be this bigger than life way of starting something. It's a lot of work, we know, everyone. It's not easy to get to this place unless you just make the decision.
But there I'm going to stop you. It can be easy. If you choose for it to be easy, it can be easy. We make things hard. When we choose easy, it comes in easily.
I got excited. I agree. Go ahead. I'm listening.
That's actually something that came to me on the beach one morning. I live in the Space Coast in Florida. So I'm right here on the Atlantic Ocean. And I start my mornings with a walk on the beach. And one day I was having I'd had a horrible 48 hours. I was so into my healing. And I was on the beach by myself. I'm like, why the bleep does it have to be so bleeping hard? And yes, I have a sailor mouth, so we're bleeping ourselves. And I hear this little whisper, because you make it hard. I'm looking around going, who's talking to me? Who's hearing me say this? I kept hearing, you're making it hard. Choose easy. It can be easy. It doesn't have to be hard. And so I came back in, I sat down and meditated, and I got this whole vision of we as humans make things hard because we expect things have to be hard. I don't know about you, but I was raised, you have to work hard to get to what you want. If you don't work hard, you don't earn it. If it doesn't come hard, you don't appreciate it. But in reality, humans make things hard. Things are easy. Life is easy. Building our confidence is easy if you choose for it to be. Healing is easy if you choose for it to be.
I love that, everyone. It is easy, and that's the route. And you know how you put something in the atmosphere, and that's the way I always say it from now on, Katy. It is easy because everything starts with a decision. And like you said, you choose to make the effort to do it. You can do it. We can do it, everyone. I love that. And I'm glad you made that clear with us, because it starts today, everyone. Let me ask you this, because you said some wonderful things that we should start doing to get us to that place. Tell us about the program you're offering and what you offer your clients, and how we can connect with you to work with you, because you bring such a calm to the conversation, and it's a wonderful feeling. And that's why I know why your following is so great on Instagram, because you feel relaxed when like me just talking to you. You brought the calm by just saying, no, it is easy. I know you have a course that you offer. Tell us about the business you've built around everyday confidence coaching and what you're offering your clients today.
Sure. Well, I have a lot of different areas of how I can be an assistance.
Yes.
And that is so rare for a coach. Most coaches are, I coach and I have this.
Yes.
And for me, I do where I'm led. So I have many different areas where I guess dabble is not quite the right word, but I have little pockets. So the first one that I want to share with you is, because I know I've already talked about this. I have been driven to do daily messages for people who are loving what I do and who want that in their life. So I offer that on Instagram, but I know there's a lot of people who are not on social media. They block it out because they may not have built their feed so that they love their feed. For me, I don't go on Facebook because it's my death notices in Facebook, who has death, who died, and who has cancer. So I don't go to Facebook, but I love what I built in Instagram because my Instagram feed is very positive and uplifting.
Yes, it is.
I love it. But not everybody has that built. So for the people who don't go on social media, but they want that daily hit of inspiration or love or motivation, I have this, it's a service and it's called Text to Inspire. And basically you get a meme with a write-up every morning directly to your phone. So it comes in as a text message. So today, I don't know if I get back to my one today without losing you. So today's message was, be a good human. And it's just a reminder to do something today simply to be a good human, whatever that looks like to you. Because, you know, the small acts of love and kindness can really change somebody's day and be the change that the world needs today. And that's delivered right to your text message. I have it set up so it can be anywhere from 8 a.m. on the East Coast to 1 p.m. on the East Coast. So I'm basically, you can get it at 8 a.m. from here to Hawaii. And it's just a little daily hit of, oh, I needed that today. Kind of like your best friends popping in to say, hey, have a great day.
Yes. I love it.
So that's what I offer for those who are not on Instagram, for people who are not on social media, but they want that daily hit of, I just need that great little. So I do offer that.
Okay.
And actually your listeners, if they want to get in on this, they can actually save $20 off the $67 a year subscription. So they can get it for $47 with the code PATH, PATH. And I know you'll have the link somewhere that they can find, right?
Will include all of that in our show notes as well.
Yes. So that's the first thing that I offer. I'm also a coach. So I do coach, and I like to work with clients on what I call a coaching sprint. Like, you are also a coach, so I'm sure you understand this. I'd like to have 4 sessions every week in a row. I want that connection. I want to get you from starting to out of those starting blocks and on your path. I've learned that when I just coach with somebody once a month as a first-time coachee, they get really frustrated because they're not moving forward.
Yes.
They're not seeing the changes they want to see. It's like when you're on a diet. If you lose those 5 pounds in the first couple of weeks, you're so excited and you keep going. Or if your scale goes up, you say, screw it, I'm done.
Yes.
I want them to get that, yay, I'm so excited, let's keep going. So I'd like to coach in a coaching sprint with 4 sessions in a month. And then we can go down to either once a month or twice a month if they still need that coaching. Most of my clients coach with me for 3 months, 4 months max, and they're on their way. They might check in once a year or once a quarter to say, hey, can we get a call? Sure. Do a single call. So I offer coaching. And I work with a limited number of clients, but I'm always interested in working with those who are either looking to clear their path. They know they want something better, but they don't know what it looks like. And I also work with clients who say, okay, I'm here. I want to be here. Help me get there.
Yes.
So those are the 2 kind of clients I work with.
I love that.
Then I've got for the people who they know they're on a healing journey. They want more, but their finances say, not going to happen.
Yes.
So I've actually started doing an Instagram. I've opened up the Instagram subscription option, which is a paid service through Instagram, where you actually get extra posts from me throughout the week, which will have coaching tips. It will have confidence tips. It will have anything that will help you on your healing or awakening journey. It's $4.99 a month.
Nice. And
I also been doing mini courses in there. So they can get a mini course, something I might offer for $20 or $25 as a live course. I've boiled it down to 14 minutes because I can only do a 15-minute video. And they can pause it and do the section and then move to the next. So I'm trying to make it affordable for everybody to get the assistance that they're ready to get to.
Exactly.
You and I both know our time only goes so far, but we know there's so many people who are ready for help.
Exactly.
Let's see, what else do I do? Oh, I do have a lovely course called Igniting Confidence. That is for those who are ready for a 21-day course, where every day you get an email and you do something else to raise your confidence. That is great for those who are dedicated for those 21 days. And then my favorite is I'm starting to offer classes. And those are all offered through, I let people know through my newsletter and through Instagram when they're going to be. But I'm going to start doing them every other week with different classes to help you unmask where you're hiding who you truly are. So you can really step into your authentic self. Phew, I am doing a lot.
That's doing
what I thought I was doing.
And Katy, you still, I don't think you still did not list all that you're doing, obviously. So tell me,
yes,
I also saw something on your page that I love because we're in the month of love, even though everyone, let me tell you, I believe every day is love. You have something called Ladybug Love Cards. Tell me about that. And I want everybody to know when I mentioned that you were the lead Ladybug, that is one of your is like a part of your logo.
Yes.
Okay.
I am a ladybug lover.
Yes.
The ladybug is my logo on my Instagram. It's a white background, black print with a ladybug flying up.
Yes.
So that's my signature, I guess.
Yes.
I started reading tarot cards a couple of years ago, and I love oracle cards, and I've been getting into affirmation cards, and my nieces love affirmations.
Yeah.
And they kept saying, I just want what you put on Instagram. I want to put that on my mirror. And I've had a lot of people reach out going, can I get a bigger size so I can convert it and print it out on the vinyl stuff and stick it to my wall? It's like, sure, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually turned into me making affirmation cards out of my memes.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a 44 card deck of affirmation cards with a coaching tip at the bottom. Mm-hmm. So you can use them just as, oh, I like this today and I can post it up, or you can use it like tarot or oracle cards where you shuffle it and you pull one out, and that's what you journal on that day with the coaching tip at the bottom.
Yes. And
I love these.
I love that idea because I keep things on my mirror as well. And I have my daughter doing that now, and with some things that she has. So is that something that's offered up? We can find all of that too, as well, on your website.
Yes, you can find it on my website. It's also on my Instagram links. Right now, I've got 2 decks for $40 with free shipping in the United States.
Okay.
Or you can get 1 deck for $25 and you pay for shipping.
Okay. And tell us the name of your website. I'm pretty sure
it's everydayconfidencecoaching.com.
Everydayconfidencecoaching.com. Everyone, again, and all of this information will definitely be in the show notes. So that's going to say, is there any, I want to know a lot if there's anything else we're missing with some of the programs you're offering, because you are truly some wonderful, wonderful things. And I love to go back where you said you do the 4 sessions for the month. You like to go consistently first. And then, because I do believe it's hard when you try to do things. It is. It's not always hard. Look, you see me, I'm trying to go. See, Katy.
Well, we can choose easy. It's a mindset.
Yes. Yeah. It's a mindset. It's not hard.
And you do see, I agreed with you when you said hard. Yes. I agreed with you.
But I know we can make it hard, but it's easy if we intentionally do something different. We can make it easier, everyone. I love that, the start, because it's going to correct me when I try not to say that. And I know things takes work. We're not saying it won't work. That's the way
you can't just say, I manifested in and I expect it to show up and not do anything to get there. That doesn't work. I don't care how many times you watch The Secret, that doesn't. You have to actually put the work in.
You have to put the work in. And that's the way we need to say it, instead of saying everything is so hard. We just have to put the work in. And that's,
or you have to put the play in. If you can look at it as what you're doing is playing, you can put the play in.
You put the play in. Exactly. Okay, everyone.
I stopped going to work every day. I'm like, I'm going to go play now.
I'm going
instead of going to work.
Exactly. So, but is there anything else do you feel like you would want to share about some of the programs you're offering?
See, you're diving into something I haven't shared with anybody else yet.
Oh, wow. It's the first here, everyone. I need music. I need music to
dun, dun, dun.
The podcast.
So I've got a new course that I am rolling out called Mapping the Journey. And that is going to be a group course that's going to be over, I haven't quite figured out if it's going to be 3 months or 6 months or somewhere in between, but it's taking, I assume most of your listeners are from the United States, correct?
Yes, the majority.
Okay, so everyone knows what Route 66 is, or Route 66.
Route 66.
So we're going to map the journey from Chicago all the way out to California. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be our route that we take to get to where we're starting to where we want to be. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be a course for those who know what they want to do. They know where they're going, but they haven't quite figured out how to get there. Yeah. And they would like that extra support and community of going through things with other people. Because you and I both know we can go it alone, but when we're there with other people who are supporting us and building us up, sharing the same obstacles, or going, oh man, I hit that too. Here's what worked for me. Or someone says, hey, that's awesome. Good job. Mm-hmm. We get there quicker, right? At least it's more fun.
Yes. All of the above you just said is quicker and easier and fun.
So I'll be rolling that out, and the start date's likely going to be in March, might be a little bit later, but it's starting with here's where we are, here's where we want to go, and we're going to look at all those obstacles along the way, all the things that could cause a flat tire, all the blowouts. We're going to look at over the scenic overlooks of where we're going to celebrate and have that glass of champagne or sparkling grape juice, if that's what you do. But we want to look at the obstacles, the roadblocks, the champagne, and how we know. It's like when you're driving, okay, we're going to stop when we get to Dallas.
Yes.
And you're like, that's your next destination, because you're not always saying, all right, I'm starting in Chicago, I'm going to California. You're not likely going to drive it straight through. You're going to go say, I'm going here. I'm going to take a quick break here. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to stop here, just like you're planning a vacation.
Exactly.
We're going to plan our route to get to that next step for you. So I'm really excited about that. That makes my heart sing.
I love mapping the journey.
Well, you'll have to join us.
I know.
Be part of our journey.
I know.
Yes.
I love that. So that's coming in March, and everyone, we're going to find out again how you can follow Katy, so you can make sure you can start signing up. I don't know if she was ready to sign up today, but she will put that information out there. So Katy, tell us, I at the end still, I have a few rapid questions I'm just going to ask you. Tell us again how we can connect with you, your website again, and how we can follow you, so we can make sure we don't miss all the wonderful things that you're offering. And everyone, let me just say this before she says that. Again, I'm intentional about who I bring on the Path podcast. Katy is already has her name out there in her own right. So she is offering, what she's offering to us is a journey that she's taken herself. And in her heart, I feel connected to people. When I reach out to them, I know I'm never reaching out just to get a guest on the podcast, Katy, because I feel a connection of this person truly is here to serve. This person they have a story, and they understand this walk in this journey. And so anytime, Path listeners, I've said this over and over again, if someone is on here, it's intentional, their heart is in the right place, and they're here to serve you and to help you come out of whatever it is that you're dealing with, if you feel like if you feel the need. So ladies, it's time to invest in ourselves. And Katy Graham is someone I would encourage you to follow and consider connecting with her. So Katy, tell us again, how can we connect with you and your social media, so we can get on this journey to self-confidence?
I try to make it easy, because, I like the word easy. So my website, my Instagram, and my Facebook, you can find me at Everyday Confidence Coaching. For my website, put a .com at the end. But my handles for both Instagram and Facebook are both Everyday Confidence Coaching.
Yes, you definitely made that easy for us, because sometimes we can't get everything to be across all social media. So everyone, we have that, and that'll be in the show notes. I'm sorry, you about to say something?
Yeah, and I am working on getting my TikTok up. It's Everyday Confidence Coach, I think, because coaching was too long.
Yes.
So I think it's Everyday Confidence Coach for TikTok. I haven't not posted anything, but that is my February goal.
Okay.
My nieces keep telling me I need to be on TikTok.
I'm hearing that too. Oh my goodness. Yeah. One more thing, right, Katy?
I'm good on Instagram.
I know. And you will be great, as we know, on TikTok as well. It's only coming. Look, some of us, we're fighting to get on some of these new platforms, but we know we have to. And it's a wonderful world out there that's going to need to see it. That's the key.
That's the key, is like your message needs to be heard to the people in our generation. You need to be on TikTok.
Yes.
It's like, okay.
Exactly.
Let me spread the message to a different generation.
Yes. And
that's the goal.
And that is the goal. And yep. You've told us about, of course, the new program you're offering. Are there any other events or seminars or anything that you have coming up?
Well, this week I was led to do a course on relationship ready. I can't tell you how many posts or how many comments in a day talk about relationships. No matter what I post about,
Yes.
the comments always come back to relationships, about how a broken heart or how they're waiting for somebody to come back who treated them bad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, I'm being led. I am offering Relationship Ready this week for free. That is something you can actually slide into my Instagram subscription,
Mm-hmm.
the $4.99 a month. That is in there already.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody wants it and they don't want to wait for a pre-session, but I'm going to start offering that free every month.
Wonderful.
So if you are looking to uncover what you want, need, and what you bring to a relationship, this is a course for you. And I'm offering it for free just because I want women to not go through what I went through. I want them to find the loves. I want them to not step into a relationship and stay when they're getting abused or hurt or treated like crap. I want them to know what they want and know what they bring to the relationship, so they set themselves up for success from the start. We've had enough broken hearts in this world, right?
Yes. That alone can be a whole nother show.
Yes. Well, we can set that one for another day.
We would have to, because we know relationships are big, even if it's siblings, but we know that relationship with a significant other is huge. And there's so much hurt, yes, like you said, and the things that women are going through, people are going through when it comes to relationships. Right. So I'm glad you're offering that.
Yeah, that's a gift to my womankind.
Yeah.
And yes, I have had more men sign up for this course, which baffles me because yes, I write for women. Yeah. I speak for women, and I keep having all these men come in. It's really kind of funny. The intention is there's been enough abuse in the world, and I watch too many women hurt themselves in a relationship to mold themselves into what somebody wants them to be. Exactly. And neither party are happy.
I so love it.
It's time to stop that. It's time to find the love and keep the love.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I won't go through because of sake of time, everyone, because I can talk to Katy for another hour, but I'm not. She's by a beautiful beach.
Not today, at least.
Not today, at least. I will bring her back. I would pray that she would come back, because I do have more I would talk to you about.
Always.
But let me ask you this. Is there any last words that, before I end the show, that you would want to add on, a question I didn't ask, or something you would want the audience to know that is on your heart to share today?
The only thing we really didn't touch on, or we did touch on it, but to reiterate, every woman deserves a beautiful life. Every woman deserves confidence. Every woman deserves to feel like she is worthy and loved. Yeah. And I wish that for everyone.
That's the key to this episode, everyone. And I couldn't say it no better than that, Katy. I normally love to end the show with a lot of things that my guests say, and you've said it already well enough.
So, I stole your thunder. Sorry about that.
No, it was stuff you said. Trust me. And Path listeners, I believe I will end the show there, because the one thing I will say that you said, we all have the power within to be strong, confident women. Are you ready to step into your power? And that was the end of something you said, Katy. I can't thank you enough for coming on the Path podcast and sharing all that you're offering the world to me and the Path listeners. So thank you.
Thank you. It's been my absolute honor.
Thank you, everyone, for hanging with us. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and other platforms, so you can stay up on our bi-weekly, real conversations with these bold women. You can follow the Path Podcast on Facebook at the Path Podcast, and on Instagram and Twitter at the Path_podcast. And if you would like to be a guest on the show or have questions for a future show, you can email us at thepath4ward@gmail.com. That's thepathforward@gmail.com. And if you're looking for a speaker or you're in need of a life coach, please reach out to me. Again, at thepathforward@gmail.com or at ACKORLEH@gmail.com. Thank you. Until next time.